Okay, we are live on YouTube. At least, and Twitch. I believe this is going to Twitch too. I did not change the settings. Oh well, it's going to both places. So, I don't have the chat open this morning because I don't have my other device set up at the moment. So if you're in the chat on either Twitch or YouTube, I'm sorry. I can't see your questions, but I'll check them afterwards, should there be any, but I'll probably finish this review before anyone even joins. So anyway, yeah, so this is actually a happy occasion compared to my last motorsport themed video about McLaren and their troubles. This video is about the long-term review of Formula 1 TV Pro, or Formula 1 TV. I don't know if they call it Pro or whatever, but whatever. Formula 1 TV. And yeah, I have to admit that if you've been waiting on for the service to get better, for the service to improve, for it to be stable during live races, now is the time. Because since June 8th, which was the Canadian Grand Prix that weekend, I have not experienced any trouble with the service as compared to Monaco and when it launched on the Spanish Grand Prix. Those races were just unwatchable live through the live stream. And yeah, it was just not a good experience. The site would crash. The video would freeze. It would pause. It would just skip. It was just all bad. It was all bad for those first two races of the service's life. But I have to report that since the Canadian Grand Prix, I have not experienced those troubles at all. It seems like they've ironed out all the problems that they were having in the beginning, and now they got a handle on it. So I can firmly say that I've been able to watch all sessions of the Canadian Grand Prix, the French Grand Prix, Austrian Grand Prix, and this morning the British Grand Prix, and I experienced no issues. I experienced obviously a little buffering when first connecting, but after that it was smooth sailing, no issues whatsoever. The stream was stable, it was smooth. Yeah, so like I said, if you've been waiting for F1 TV to get better and this is the only way you have to watch Formula 1 races, now is the time. Jump in, it's working. You'll enjoy the races for the rest of the season, I can tell you that much. But that being said, I don't know if this is because of the World Cup, because we have to take into account that maybe a lot more people would be logging in if they weren't watching the World Cup, but I do not believe there's a World Cup game today, because I think all the quarterfinals have ended now. Yesterday they ended with Croatia and England advancing. But I'm not sure. I haven't checked the schedule for the World Cup this morning, so maybe there is a game going on. I don't know, but we have to take into account that could be a factor at the performance, that maybe a lot of people who Formula 1 TV is available for are, they're watching the World Cup at the moment, so they're not really paying attention to Formula 1 until after the World Cup. So we have to take that into account, but I can say that previously, before the World Cup even started, like for the Canadian and French Grand Prix, the service was working just fine. I experienced no troubles with it compared to the Monaco issues and the Spanish Grand Prix issues when it launched. No troubles. It was smooth. It's great. I can say I experienced nothing. As you can see, the race just ended about half an hour ago, and the replay is already up. So they got a lot better on getting the replays up quicker as well. So let's just talk about what the platform really has to offer, because I got a lot of questions in the in my previous video. So this part is going to answer a little bit of questions. So for example, what do you see when you watch the race? Well, what you see is a live feed, and what the live feed is what F1 management pipes out to all networks for the on-track action. So those networks, their cameras aren't on track showing that action. So you see all the on-track action. You see they even have a little bit of post-race interview and podium, but after that it's kind of like it's done, because usually after that, the Sky team or the whatever broadcasting group you have, BBC, whatever they are, Canal, I don't know, they would take over and use their own announcers and cameras to do further post-race interviews. So yeah, you don't get any of that on F1 TV. You also, if you're listening to the commentary on F1 TV, you'll sometimes, for example, you'll hear like Martin Brundle's or Ted Kravitz's name is, I believe, is on the track, and they're like, oh, look at this over here, I'm standing in front of Williams Garage. And if you're watching like Sky or ESPN, you'll see Ted at the Williams Garage. But since Formula 1 TV Pro is not, is only the live feed of what's on track. You don't see any of that, so you'll hear Ted Kravitz talk about these things, but you don't see him. So it's a little jarring if you're listening to the commentary and watching. But aside from that, I have to say there's a couple things still lacking, like obviously the on track appearance of some of further commentary, but I think that's the main thing I'm missing, because with the whole package, you get really great race action, and you get the helmet cam footage as well. But there's no like pre-race build up, and there's no post-race programs. I see now that they've added paddock pass here, which is good because it's about time. I mean, they need to have more like news programs on this to give us, a little bit more information. Like, they should have been the ones breaking the news about McLaren's reshuffle, but that was covered by all the other networks. So things like that, obviously F1 TV add in the future. Definitely more news, more roundtable discussions, maybe things of that nature. More of Will Buxton Paddock Pass. Like, I know he has a Twitter live desk, but I think there should be a place here for the Twitter live desk as well, because I don't have Twitter. I have no desire to log into Twitter. But so they should at least have something here, I mean, it's the F1 TV. This should be the one-stop shop for all your F1 video needs. So like I said, the service is working great. The onboard cameras work great. Let's just take a look around here, because I'm not going to show any video because I don't want them to get angry. So here's the upcoming races. We can see we still have a good amount of season left. I'm sure you guys are fans. Past races, we can watch all the races from the past season, but I don't know what's up with Azerbaijan. This is the race I really want to watch. I think you can watch it. Let's check it out. We can take a look. Let's see what we got here. We have qualifying. Yeah, I don't understand why of all the races this one is still. Oh no, it's 2017. Yeah, of all the races, this one is still not available. And this is the race, I think, of the season so far. The most exciting race. I just want to see when Grosjean crashes his car and blames Ericsson again. I just want to laugh about that. But yeah, so they don't have, for whatever reason, they don't have the Azerbaijan Grand Prix up for replay. But aside from that, they have the other races for the season. So what am I gonna do? Am I gonna keep this program, or am I gonna this streaming, or am I gonna get rid of it? I'm probably gonna keep it for the time being, just maybe to the end of maybe a few more races. I'll keep it, because I mean the only thing holding me here is the onboard cameras, because sometimes I do go back and watch the races from different perspectives. But yeah, but at the moment I also have access to ESPN's watch ESPN.com, and yeah, I mean that has everything. That has other stuff I'm looking for, like pre-race build-up. They have post practice coverage. They have now ESPN actually is showing the post Sky coverage on their channel, so we get a little bit more with that. But I mean it's still not up to quality. I mean on ESPN side, because they cut out, or after practices they really don't show much at all. And there needs to be this platform needs to be the spot for Formula 1 going forward, because networks aren't really servicing it that well. I mean Sky in the UK, they do a great job. I mean I've had access to that stream years back, and I watched it. That's how I used to watch all my Formula 1 races before I stopped using VPNs and things of that nature, because it got too ridiculous. I would have to use a friend's card who lives in the UK. It was just too much. So so I just decided to stop doing that, and I was watching the races on NBC here locally, and their coverage was good, but they stopped with so many commercials, and it was just annoying to watch. But ESPN right now, if you're in the States or you have access to ESPN, they're not stopping for commercials during the race or qualifying anymore. So they got that going for them, and they show a little bit of post-race coverage now, so that's going for them. But that's what F1 TV needs. It needs at least a news desk of some sort, news coverage, maybe a little bit more extensive. Maybe next season they'll have like an on-track team, So maybe they'll actually have post-race interviews. You know, things. That's what this platform really needs. Or maybe a quicker turnaround on Paddock Pass. I know Paddock Pass has to go through capturing all the interviews and then they edit that down. But maybe they can, you know, show those interviews being done live. They can, you know, can switch the format up of the show. Yeah, there's definitely room for improvement. But one thing that is missing, if you have seen the demo video, there's that they show that split screen of you can watch the race on one camera and you can watch a helmet cam on the other camera. That's not there yet. You can only watch one camera at a time. The helmet cams are good. I enjoy. They're good. They're good. They work well. I enjoy watching the race from them. Sometimes I'll click into them. Like during practice, I actually saw this happen in the helmet cam to Brendan Hartley when this car started. I was like, "Whoa, what the heck was that?" And then you see him crash. I was like, "Whoa!" So it's definitely a good. It's good to see from the perspective how that looks. Because sometimes if you're just watching a camera, something something can happen. So that's one of the reasons I'm keeping this service for now. But in the future, I do hope they add a little bit more news desk programs, more on-track appearance of Formula One. You know, official like the Formula One TV guys are on track. Like Will Buxton, I don't get a crew and they go around do post-race interviews or even his interviews. They should just show them after the race is complete. You know, because other networks do that. I think they can figure out a way to do so as well. But as of right now, you get races commercial free, all sessions commercial free. So if that's really all you want to do is watch the races, maybe skip through a couple of helmet cams, yeah, I say jump in, get the service. It's working well. Don't worry about any horror stories. I don't know if it's maybe I have good internet connection here, but I've experienced no issues since the Monaco Grand Prix when I just shut it off in disgust. I was like, this is garbage. It's broken. I'm not gonna bother. But since the Monaco Grand Prix, you could also say the same thing for the Formula 1 season. Since the Monaco Grand Prix, things have kind of picked up. The races have been a little bit more exciting. Still somewhat processional at points, but, they've been somewhat exciting. Especially today's British Grand Prix. That was a good one. Yeah, the last few races since the Canadian Grand Prix, I would have to say I enjoyed it thoroughly. Monaco was the last one I did not enjoy. But we'll save that for another video. But yeah, so if you want to know anything about Formula 1 Grand Prix, Formula 1 TV Pro, drop something in the comments. I usually answer the questions immediately or shortly thereafter. But yeah, if you're waiting for this to get better, I say now's the time. Jump in. You get to catch up on the season if you missed a couple races. And yeah, that's all I really want to say. They stabilized the service. Now they just need, they just need to add to it. They need to add a couple more things to it. And I think it'll be actually what it should be, like a one-stop shop for, your Formula 1 TV needs or news needs or video needs or whatever you wish to call it. And they do still have the archive. I have to admit, I haven't really spent much time in the archive recently, so I'm not sure if it's anything different from, my initial reactions video. But, yeah, you can go all the way back. Like I showed this on my other video previously. Let's see if they added anything for... Some years there's nothing in the archive. Yeah, so there's no content for this season. But, yeah, but there's still archive stuff you can watch and things of that nature. So that's another draw. If you want to check out some old races, you can check them out. But yeah, that's it. So any questions, drop me a line. If you're waiting for Formula 1 TV to get better, like I said, now's the time. Jump in. It's working well, but remember to take into account that maybe this service, the smoothness of the service has to do with maybe a lot of people are just off watching the World Cup and not logging in. So that has to be taken into account. But I've experienced no problem since the Canadian Grand Prix, and I have to say I can give this now I can give this a full check mark of approval for people to actually, if you want to, I could say, yeah, if someone asks me, should I buy Formula 1 TV or should I just stay with ESPN? I would ask them two questions. I'll say, do you like post-race coverage? If you do like post-race coverage or pre-race coverage, I would say stick with ESPN or your local broadcaster if they have post and pre-race coverage. If you just want to watch the races, you just want to check out the helmet cams, if that's really all you want to do is like race only, qualifying session, practice sessions only, you don't really care what anyone has to say afterwards, I say jump in, because you can always go to YouTube or somewhere else to watch the post race interviews. That's what I do. I usually, at the last lap or so, I usually switch over to my ESPN stream, and then I watch the post race coverage from there, and then I go on YouTube and watch the further interviews conducted as well. So that's the way I've been dealing with it. So, but I can say if it's the way you can watch Formula One, I say go for it. It's working great. You won't have any problems. Hopefully, you won't have any problems. I have had no problems, and I can only speak for myself. So I have had no problems since the Monaco Grand Prix. So jump in, check it out, try it for the next race. The next race starts the practice one for the German Grand Prix, July 20th. So if you've been on the fence, check it out July 20th. If not, you can always just cancel. It's pretty easy to cancel. You just log into the account section and hit unsubscribe or cancel. But yeah, maybe I'll do a if anyone's interested, I could do a comparison between what Formula One TV offers in comparison to, say, I also have streaming package for World Rally Car, so I can compare and contrast those two services. If anyone's interested in a video like that, let me know. And yeah, so that's it. That's my long-term review of Formula One TV Pro. It's stable. If you've been on the fence about it, now's the time to jump in. But there are some things I'd like to see added to the platform to make it stronger. And that's all I really gotta say. And so if you like what you see, like, subscribe, you know the whole drill. And yeah, let me know any questions or comments in the comments below. And you guys, have a great day. Keep it positive. I'm looking for this button behind my speaker to close out the stream. So yeah, everyone have a great day and enjoy it. Peace.